welcome to another Lawn Fawn video. Today we're going to be working with the Lawn Fawn set bows and holly and making a fun card with a wreath on it. So we're going to get started by stamping in Memento Tuxedo Black ink. This is the ink I like for Copics. It seems to smear the least out of all of them. I also like the Ranger Adirondack inks too, but this one's definitely my favorite for the Copics. So we're just going to stamp that right there. And we're going to start doing some coloring. So the first thing I'm going to do is, let's see, I like testing. I'm going to color the actual wreath part this light brown color. So I'm just going around, skipping the ribbon and the holly, and just filling in. Okay, so I just finished using E57 walnut, and now I'm going to use E27 africano and just add some little darker areas to the wreath that I'll blend in. And remember, I am not a Copic expert. I don't have all the ones I need. I make do with what I've got. So I think that's like a lot of us. We don't have that many of them. So I just kind of try to show you what I do and kind of working with what I have. So I'm going to go through. You don't want to when you're blending, you don't want to let it dry too much. So I'm just doing part of it and then going through and kind of blending it in. And I'm not doing, I'm not trying to blend it too much because I actually kind of want the darker areas in the wreath. I think it makes it look a little more realistic, like it might be made out of twigs or branches. Okay, so now that's parts done, and that was E57 and E27. And now I'm going to work with some greens. So I think I want kind of, markers going everywhere. I want kind of a, because I'm working with such a small area, I'm just doing, I don't like that. Let's see. Okay, so I'm working with YG25 Celadon Green, and then I'm going to go over it with YG95, this pale olive. Kind of tones down the green, and so I kind of like that. I think I'm doing a little bit of a, where the holly isn't bright. So I'm just going through right now and using the YG25 to color in the leaves. And then we'll go about shading them. Colored the leaves with the YG25, and I'm going to go over it with this, kind of pale. What I'm doing is I'm taking it on the outside and then leaving the lighter green a little bit on the inside. And then we're going to blend it. So we're going to take this one back and go back through and kind of blend that color. And as you can see, I'll put it up to the camera. It gives that streaky look, and I like that. I really like that on all these. I kind of think it gives it some dimension. Okay, so this R27 cadmium is kind of like a lighter, more orangey red. So I'm going to go ahead do that. Now I'm going to take that darker red and highlight. So I'm going to use this gold gel pen to color in this ribbon. So I'm kind of going in circular motions and just starting to fill in the ribbon, on the wreath. As you can see, it really adds a lot. It's really sparkly. So there you go, that kind of, see there? It's kind of dark in here. We've had really miserable weather lately, so there's no sunshine at all, which is really strange for Southern California. So now I'm just finishing coloring the end of this bow with this gel pen. The reason I'm using a gel pen is I really want that metallic look. And I can get that with the gel pen. Okay, so this looks really pretty now. See if I can get the shine on it there. So we're going to let that dry and work on something else next. Right now I have, it's a 4 1/4 by 11 cardstock. It's scored in half, a 5 1/2. It's going to be a tall card. And what I did was I took my T-square ruler and I went through and I made markings for this sort of faux door. So I made them 1 inch, 2 inch, and then I skipped a quarter, and then, you know, another inch across, and then made a square. And then I went down about 1/2 inch and then made these longer ones, and these longer ones are, and if you were measuring from the top like I am, it goes from 7 3/4 to 9 3/4, so these are 2 inch long with an inch across here. Sorry, I'm out of the way. So I made those pencil markings, and what I did was I took my scoring tool. I'm going to zoom out. I took my scoring tool, my scor-pal, and I went through and started following these lines and having them line up and making the marks in and doing them, pretty hard in there. So I just would make sure that I'm lining up and then just go down just like that. And since I know that these were 1 inch apart, I know I could go to one and then go to another, if I needed to. But yeah, you just find another spot and just make your markings. And you go all the way across, and then to do these ones, you line it up this way. And I just, take it and line it up with one of these score lines here. And just go. And so it's kind of a labor of love. It took a little bit of time. You could also use your T-square and just, right now I can't find my sharper scoring tool. If you had a sharper one, you could use your T-square and just your table and do the same thing. So now we're looking at the inside, and we're looking at kind of this door shape. Take my Ranger craft mat and grab my old standards, vintage photo and antique linen, and just kind of add some distress. I'm just going to take some antique linen and just go off the paper and then onto this faux door. And so I'm just trying to give the whole thing, kind of this appearance of kind of a weathered door. So I just went through and kept adding and adding until I kind of got this weathered look that I was looking for. And so the next thing we're going to do is actually cut out this wreath. And this has to be done very carefully because there's a lot of little lines and whatnot. So I like to kind of cut it out of the paper first and then work on that. Hi, okay, so I have the wreath all cut out. I lined it with a black Copic marker like I always do to kind of give it that finished look. And, dropping everything today. And so we're going to have this wreath hanging on this door. So right now I'm just taking some red and white twine and I've tied it around the wreath with a knot at the top, and I just trimmed off the ends. And what I'm going to do is I'm first going to adhere the wreath down, and then I'm going to use glossy accents to hold the string down. Normally I would have tied it through the card, but I wanted both parts of the string there, so that didn't really work this time. So I'm just going to put some foam adhesive on. This always takes me forever, so I usually fast forward it. We're going to use some glossy accents, this by Ranger, but I'm going to use it as a glue again. Okay. And then right now, while I'm at it, I'm going to add glossy accents to these berries. I think it'll, kind of I'm kind of letting it pool up. so that it gives that 3D look. And I think it's going to go really well with that metallic gel pen on the bow, because you know there's lots of shine on the card, and it's a nice contrast to the door with all the brown on it. So we've stamped Merry Christmas on this white paper here because it didn't turn out dark enough on this, as dark as I thought it was going to on my card base. And what we're going to do is distress this white piece, and we're going to add this here to the bottom of this door. Okay, so we added this sentiment to the bottom, and our glossy accents is getting close to being dried. So you can see a little close-up here of the berries and the gold. And so this is our Christmas tree wreath door card. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye!